敌军还有30秒到达战场，碾碎他们。全军出击！
It was the game plan in the last set of games from Vici, and now you've only doubled down on that fact because Braum is one of the worst champions at trying to control a wave and push it out. At least with Taric, you could dazzle a couple of units. You've only got the one single target for Sword Art.
Ix has moved down to the bottom side, and he's just going to completely ruin SOFM's day. He wanted to try and make a play. He wanted to try and relieve some of the pressure on his bottom lane, but with Ix here, there's not a lot he can do about this one. The minions aren't quite going to finish that tower plate, though. A little bit frustrated for iBoy.
Hey, look, iBoy's going to be happy enough. He can push in this wave, hit the turret, get the goal back, and get those lethality items rolling fast. So Vici here, again, this is a struggle for Sunni. Why? Oh, hang on, they're going for this.
Yeah, but I don't know if they can... Oh, actually, with SOFM coming on in as well, Hung is going to be in trouble. Doesn't have his flash available. It's still on cooldown from earlier. Will be a kill going over to Huanfeng. That is a big pickup for Sunni.
Disrespectful from Huang as well, because we saw, hey, look, they're going to be in this jungle. We just watched SOFM go into that bottom side, doesn't decide to back away, and ends up paying for it. iBoy, though, still packing his serrated dirk into his backpack and now moving back towards the bottom lane.
Yeah, on towards this dragon. For Suning, though, they start things off well for themselves, despite the 2 kills early on for Vici. That was a 1,000 gold lead to start off with, but Suning have done a good job of minimizing that advantage.
So this is a much better start from Suning in this case. Still, though, need to see more pressure from SOFM down towards this bottom side, and I like that they're not going towards Bin. Bin has gone for the Tiamat, so a bit of a different style build than we usually see from Wukongs. We oftentimes see them instead go towards the Black Cleavers, even Triforce in certain circumstances, or the Blade of the Rune King.
Yep.
With going towards this Tiamat, he's looking to consistently shove Cube in and try and keep pressure on the map where he's given himself an opportunity to roam and get some vision in River, or even gank on towards Forge in this mid lane.
Oh, Forge is being greedy. Bird on bird action, but he's not going to go for the chickens because he's in trouble here. Although the monkey has just been completely denied by an entire army of Sand Soldiers, but here comes Angel, can finish off Forge, gets 1 kill for himself, Bin survives as well, and a great roam from the top laner Suning.
And that was why you pick up the Tiamat in this scenario. Great call from Bin to look forward and realize, hey, I can have impact on this map thanks to my pushing pressure. So Bin sets up the success of Suning, and now we're back to Suning in the lead.
And really, really great to see this coming out from Bin, because you mentioned it as we were coming into game number 2 here. When you think of Bin, when you look at his solo queue plays, it's all about the split push. It's all about getting off in a side lane. What does Tiamat scream to you? It screams split push. It screams that I want to just shove in waves.
And he's got the Nashor's Tooth there as well, so working up towards the Triforce. This is really strong here for Bin.
Yeah, that Stinger coming through for
Stinger,
him.
sorry, yeah.
Won't be going for the AP.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But still, Triforce is going to do a lot of work for Bin, and he's feeling it this game, wants to go all in on the damage.
Vici, they've grouped up for the Herald. They need to be careful. SOFM is going to be here. Smite comes through, though. Ix will grab the Herald for himself.
And sorry, with Bin going for this, he's all in on damage onto turrets. This is very much a split push style of build coming in from Bin. Pushing waves with Tiamat, looking to take towers very quickly with the Triforce. And this is going back to a really strong play from Bin. I love the way he's using Wukong's regen here super well too. He's got a bunch of extra armor, he's got a bunch of extra regen, and that's why you can see he's surviving for so long and taking so little damage from this Rek'Sai.
I mean, I don't know why they thought they could shut this monkey down. Look, his tail is a sword. His tail literally has a blade on it. Like, how are you ever going to win a fight against that? Foolish from Vici, to be quite frank, but it is going to be a pretty significant advantage now for Bin in this top lane, but we saw that in game 1 as well. Now we need to see him use that more effectively. We need to see him snowball.
Well, this is the way to do it. SOFM in the top lane.
They might have found that snowball for themselves. Cyclone available. Bin dodges away from the knockup. Cube forced to flash, but it's a beautiful pillar. Cyclone to follow as well, and Bin gets a second kill.
Suning, we wanted to see them get Bin onto a split pusher. We didn't expect it when we saw the Wukong locked in again, but now he's been set up for success. 2 kills, going to be getting a bunch of turret plates for himself. Problem is when we look at the bottom lane, iBoy's doing the same thing again. I'm getting deja vu severely here in this game.
And once again, he's got a really early Umbral Glaive this time. The Rift Herald will be dropped in the bottom lane because it's not just for a smidgen of tower health, it is going to be the 2 plates. and most of that gold will be given over to iBoy. So once again, it's a Fed carry in the bottom lane against a Fed carry in the top.
We're not going to see the same fights though. This is Suning going, we've got Huanfeng for wave clear, we've got Angel for wave clear. Even Angel with the teleport can go off into a side lane later on in this game. We want Bin to carry completely by himself, and this is a different strategy than we've seen from Suning before. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this new style can bring to the Suning roster, and if they can find success against Vici.
They need to. They really need to right now. The 5-9 in the standings. Their hopes of playoffs are all but over. They're not mathematically counted out just yet, but it is pretty much down to how everyone else in the league is going to do. And when it comes to game difference, it's not looking pretty. But it is important to finish the split out strong. When you're looking towards summer, you're going to have a good end to spring. And again, we saw moments of good play coming out from this team in game number 1. They nearly managed to turn this game around and win it for themselves. We need to see more of that again.
iBoy putting some damage onto Angel. Bin has joined with the team here because he's got no teleport available, but it will be matched by Cube. Both teams looking to scrap for this dragon.
Dragon spawned now onto the map. Suning got the first dragon of the game, so bear that in mind. This would be the second one for them. And a Cloud Drake as well, so bit of ult CDR for the squad. Angel is really struggling because this Varus from iBoy, the guy doesn't miss when it comes to these arrows. SOFM spotted out, the pillar destroyed by Cube.
Look where Forge is though, he's separated from the group. Angel's going to back away
before.
because he's a little bit worried about how much pressure they can create on Vici's side towards that bottom lane. Now coming back though, you've got Bin who's going to go, I think, deal with bottom wave, but I think everyone's just giving up on it.
This is kind of interesting, the commitment here, as Angel TPing back just to be able to be here and continue to contest the dragon. But both teams have to move towards the mid lane. Oh, Huanfeng, you've stepped too far forward. There's a Chains of Corruption, and he's dead already. Sword Art can't get the shield in time. Ornalt won't land, and Sword Art will walk away with his life after a flash. But iBoy, he might be able to finish him. No, Sword Art walks to safety.
I don't know what Huanfeng was doing there. He walked directly on top of an Ornn.
To answer your question.
Look, if Call of the Forge got a hit Huanfeng, I would have been able to forgive him. But walking into pillar range, that's basic. That is just avoid this at all costs. And now you can see Vici, they will get their first dragon on the board. They can now get these waves back in order as well. And already Suning have lost a decent chunk of these waves too, because we saw that wave disintegrate into that bottom lane turret.
Yeah, unfortunate play from the Suning AD carry, and you can see here, like, the knock-up from Cube. I mean, it's all just got a bit wrong, hasn't it?
It really has. I want to look at that top wave though, just on that replay, because you can see, look, you got a bit of a wave that crashed into the top lane turret. So both teams pretty much even when it came to gold and experience that was lost. But definitely the damage has now been done to that top lane turret. And with Huanfeng now walking up towards this side, he can look to crack open that turret by quickly clearing out this wave.
So once again, decent start from Vici, but this time Suning have answered somewhat. They're actually going to be ahead in gold after all of the plays around the top side of the map. But the dragon going the way of Vici is a nice little boon for them. Nash's Tooth has been finished from Forge, and once again we're going to see him just hanging around the side lanes, trying to find pressure elsewhere on the map, while iBoy gets to sit in this mid lane and just throw those arrows out.
Riftero going to be spawning in a few moments, which is why we're seeing all the lovely people start to move up towards this top side of the map. Instead of having iBoy towards this top lane, they're instead having a mid, which might be a bit of a problem here when they can't clear out the waves fast enough to keep this top lane turret.
I thought Forge would have been in a little bit of trouble there. I thought they were maybe going to go for him, but because Ike's was hanging around nearby, he was confident enough to step up and clear the wave. Rift Herald has spawned, and Vici, you can see, already on the case.
Vici have done a good job of clearing out the wards that are behind them though. Sword Art had placed them there for Bin to TP2 if given the opportunity, but Vici clearing those out means that now Bin has got to take a much more shallow TP play, and that won't work as well if he wants to join in this fight.
Yeah, he's going to be walking up by foot this time. No TPs available for him. He might find a way onto iBoy here, who stepped way too far forward and will be shut down. Big bullet time across the team as well. Hung stunned up. and it's a kill going into the pocket of Huanfeng. Nice shield from Sword Art. And well, Suning, very nice couple of picks. Ike's will get the Herald though. Maybe can get away with his life, will tunnel away.
Will just about manage to get away, but you do give 2 kills over to Suning and pressure in this mid lane. Forge needs to be a little bit careful.
Yeah. I was nervous for him there. I think he didn't quite mean to go that way on the blast cone, but he gets away with it and will clear away the minions. Even gold when it comes to the plates, though.
Look at where the gold has gone, though. iBoy, the carry for Vici. Bin, the carry for Suning. Did manage to get a good flank in that fight, which set up the picks onto iBoy and Hong. And now he should be able to back away. He's pretty close to finishing off that Triforce. I'm assuming he's going to get it on this back. And now those turret plates, that side lane pressure needs to be respected by Vici.
Immediately, this Rift Herald just dropped in the mid lane. iBoy's going to be able to open this one up, get the turret low enough for the Herald to finish it off. Or is he actually? Still a couple of hits away, and I think SOFM, Sword Art going to be here. Chains of Corruption, though, they want to force the issue. Forge can't finish the turret. Angel is starting to do some serious damage. Bear in mind, that Triforce is finished.
And that's where a lot of the damage is now going to come from. Essence Reaver completed from Huanfeng, working up towards that Infinity Edge. With this game at a much more even setting, now Suning can come into this at a great spot. With that Triforce, with these Essence Reaver Infinity Edges completed for Huanfeng, their combo damage is super high.
It's iBoy that's ahead in his build a little bit when it comes to other carries, but you've got to bear in mind these lethality items are a bit cheaper than what Huanfeng and Angel are trying to build for themselves. They've got the expensive BF sword items to go for, so they will take a little bit longer. But this is feeling a lot, I say a lot, it's feeling way more convincing from Suning in the early game. Comparatively to game number 1, this feels a little bit more like what we know Suning for earlier on in the split.
And I want to see how they can continue this pressure forward. You've got Bin now. I want to take a moment, because we often don't see this split push Wukong, to talk about like how these clones can operate against the turrets. Because if you do use your W as this Wukong on a turret, your clones will still whack away in those turrets. They'll have, if you use your Q, the clone will also use a Q. So you can very quickly, alongside this Triforce, get through these turrets. I wouldn't be surprised now with Bin to then now look to round out his build with a Blade of the Rune King.
That was nicely done by Forge there. Steps up to get the last couple of hits on the turret. Bin, he wants a sneaky way into this fight. Clears away the ward, keeps himself out of vision. iBoy will be able to step up though with this Umbral Glaive. Can clear wards in a singular hit.
Suning are a bit separated though. Sword Art needs to be in the front line to stop Cube's ultimate from hitting onto the likes of Huanfeng. Now Suning look a lot stronger.
Oh, Ike's went in, but will be able to tunnel himself back out. Great Emperor's Divide comes through. Complete disengage there from Forge, but ultimately it's Suning that get the dragon.
And now they've got access to this bottom lane as well, so Bin is moving over here with Huanfeng, while Angel is looking to clear out mid. They should be able to crack this bottom lane turret.
This feels a lot better. If you're a Suning fan at home, this is a bit more what we wanted to see in game number 1. Really great to see them grouping up, working as a team. You know, one of the biggest criticisms we gave them in game 1 was that these fights didn't feel like the team was on the same page. It didn't feel like they were operating from the same manual. But here in game 2, feels much more like they've got a game plan, they've all read it, and they're sticking to it.
And this is a bit of a dangerous scenario now for Vici. We said how desperately they need to win this series 2-0 to keep their playoff dreams alive.
Yep.
Well, Suning are fighting them every step of the way. And this is what we wanted Suning to come into this series with, to give us a fight against Vici.
I think that's the most important thing here, is that Vici, you know, mathematically the playoff dream can still survive. They're on 6 and 8 in the standings right now. They can finish this split on an even scoreline if they can win this series and then follow it up by beating V5. And you know, beating V5 should be a relatively simple task. You would hope, because they haven't won a single series this split just yet.
Yeah,
So,
1 game win against LNG, who are also sitting bottom of our table right now. So you'd imagine that you would be able to pick that up.
you'd hope, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You really would hope. But they need to find this win against Suning first if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive, and then it would come down to game difference. That's how they make it on through. So it depends how the rest of the bracket pans out. It depends how OMG do, how WE do. But it's how Cube does that worries me right now. Flashes away from the pillar. Will keep himself safe.
SOFM's on this bottom side of the map, which means Vici are starting to congregate in and around this Baron, get the vision down, and maybe actually look for a pick on Huanfeng on this top lane. He very quickly backs away before anyone can get onto him, though.
Good respect from Huanfeng. He's made that mistake in the mid lane earlier on this game, and I don't think we're going to see a similar mistake from him again this game. I think in these kind of high-intensity matches, when every win matters, you don't make the same mistake twice. SOFM forced to flash away. Is Vici engaging and trying to force the issue here in the jungle?
Good job from Forge to bait it out, though. Never used the Emperor's Divide, which is what SOFM was expecting, so you still have this play available now for Forge if you want to.
And I'm really keeping my eyes on iBoy here, because when you thought about the damage chart at the end of game number 1, iBoy was well and truly at the top, significantly further ahead of everyone else in the game. When it comes to lethality virus, you expect him to do a lot of damage. We've seen varying results of this pick across the LPL, but iBoy feels like one of the more consistent lethality viruses that we have in the league. He's going to step up aggressively to clear that ward. He can do so because Hung is there on this time catch.
And look at the vision that Vici have right now. They've swept river, they've cleared it out of anything that might resemble the color red. That means there's nowhere for Bin to try and threaten that line dive. Now though, Bin has backed and is moving towards mid lane, so trying to see if he can push Vici out of river so Suning can once again gain control of the river area.
3-6 on the scoreboard. Suning this time, though, with the advantage. Last time around, we saw them coming back off of a miracle fight in the later stages of the game. We're beyond the 20-minute mark, and the Colonel, he's changed his mind about everything here. He's fancying Suning now.
This is such a tight series, and it really is going to come down to how well, again, can Bin find access here in these team fights. He's struggling a little bit off in these side lanes to try and have the pushing power he'd like against Cube. The Bellows Breath and those pillars can clear out waves pretty quickly. And look at what Suning are trying to do right now. It's funnel resources into Huanfeng, finish this Infinity Edge, and with this dragon up in 40 seconds, Huanfeng needs to back quickly to be here by the time that this dragon spawns.
Will be the Ocean Drakes as well. Important that whoever gets this soul, the Ocean Soul is very much a win condition. Doesn't feel the same as some of the other souls, but Ocean, I think collectively agreed upon that it is one of, if not the strongest soul.
Suning are not fighting for this. They've left Huanfeng in the top lane. They want to take towers instead. This is just a call. We're not touching this dragon. We're going to go for other objectives instead.
Oh, but Hung wants to catch out Bin here. Flashes away from the Chains of Corruption, but with Flash on cooldown, he could be in trouble. There's a flash from Hung to get this slow. Cyclone and the rest of the team from Suning going to come on in as well. Ice saved here by Hung, but Huanfeng's in here, and there's the bullet time. It's not quite going to connect, though. Hung sacrifices himself to save the jungler.
And with that, Huanfeng has the time to teleport in. I thought we'd get such a quicker fight from Vici, but with how long Bin was able to delay that engage, Huanfeng was able to get into the fight, and now they do get the dragon.
Nicely done here by Suning. They get themselves a pick and a second Ocean Drake. They're one away from the Ocean Soul. And the teleport pickup from Huanfeng on the AD carry spot, kind of catching Vici out by surprise here.
So the reason I thought Suning weren't going to fight was because you want Huanfeng here for when this fight kicks off. So when Bin gets this big cyclone, you can have the bullet time over the top. Vici can very quickly congregate onto a fight thanks to the Call of the Forge God, Chains of Corruptions, everything else that can come out to slow down Suning in retreating. But because Bin was the one that Vici engaged onto, he spends so much time running away, Huanfeng can channel the teleport, get in with the rest of Suning, and they can turn that fight around.
And importantly, you mentioned Suning. Look at their inventories right now. Angel has got an Infinity Edge. You've got Huanfeng with an Infinity Edge. Bin has finished that Death Dance as well as his Triforce. We're hitting some pretty massive damage spikes. And you'd expect that Suning now, they can actually look to be a bit more proactive. Instead of just reacting to Vici, they can start to make these plays happen.
And that's what I'm hoping we will see with this Baron. Bin has been spotted on the bottom side of the map, but he's got his teleport. It's not as crucial for him to be here at the start of these fights because he wants to get the flank, get in onto the likes of iBoy and Forge.
Let's take a look at some of these stats here. Bin, so far, 33% of the team's damage. And Angel, another 30%. Huanfeng Not doing that much so far this game, it would seem. But a couple of bullet times will quickly change those statistics if he can find them onto the right targets.
Well, they're trying to give all this gold into Huanfeng. Again, he's left sitting in the top lane, farming up, getting gold. His experience, you can see, is starting to mount up a level advantage over iBoy. But it does mean that Suning can't really look to contest this vision that Vici are putting into the jungle because they don't have their AD carry there to help them.
Look at this vision control from Vici. They're spotted by the Scuttle Crab, but I don't think they care. They've got an Azir. Varus going to be here as well. Hung going to be just trying to hold everyone at bay. Teleport available for Bin. They might just be able to get away with this one. SOFM desperately trying to get here in time, but the Chains of Corruption mean they will get the Baron at 26 minutes. Now, Suning, they've got to try and punish for this one. They can't let them get away with this daylight robbery. Bin knocked up multiple times. And you know what, Hung? He's like, I'm happy to die for this one. I'll play a distraction. You guys be free.
Hung is the one that gets locked up, but Vici still get away with the goods. The Baron buff now onto Vici is going to be so good for them. They will lose out on some of these towers, though. If you look at Forge, who's going to be backing away, they won't have the manpower to try and hold on to this.
Cuba some
maybe
damage on this
actually,
Horde.
yeah.
And the turret blasting away as well. Bullet time comes through, but it's not quite enough. And actually, Call of the Forge God snipes out towards Sword Art. Can't quite finish the kill. Deters the play, though, and the tower still stands.
Dicey from Cube, but he manages the success of holding on to that top lane structure. And that's exactly what Vici needed right now. Look at where the map is positioned at the moment. Waves are going to be able to be pushed out from Vici on top, on bottom, and then they can look to start putting pressure on towards some of these inner turrets of Suning.
And it's exactly what we praised them for in game number 1. Immaculate macro play. That was where their strength lies. And you know what? Game number 2, they're behind in goal, but they're like, hey, look, you're out of position on the map. We're going to punish you for that because we got Nazir.
And this was coming from Suning trying to funnel resource into Huanfeng. He was off-side playing split pushing like he's doing right now, which means Vici are confident to make these plays. Suning need Huanfeng with them. They can't keep having this split push AD carry.
Now with the Baron, they can just group up in the mid lane, and once again, iBoy. He's on the lethality Varus. He can do whatever he wants here. Huanfeng is split pushing. TP's not available. He's going to get a tier 2 in the top lane. But at what cost? At what cost? Because you're losing an inhibitor tower right now, my friend. Angel has the package available. We got to see some kind of all-in here. We got to see Suning force the issue, but the tower is about to fall. One more shot from the cannons will finish it off. They need to recall. They need to deal with Huanfeng, who's managed to trade evenly here.
So Huanfeng does manage to trade back and forth against Vici. But there's Bin.
Emperor's Divide keeps Bin away. The knockup is not quite going to be enough, but he secures the blue buff. With this Cyclone on cooldown, though, it might be a bit more difficult to fight for the dragon that's up in 15 seconds.
And you can have Huanfeng move in here. He's got that teleport available. No Cyclone, though, does make it a little bit more difficult for Suning to operate in these fights and for Bin to have as big of an impact.
This is such a crucial fight. Ocean Soul on the line, and that could be what clinches this game for Suning. But Vici will not give this one up without a fight. Ix is over the wall. He's going to go for the smite steal, and he gets it. Ix flashes away with it as well. Cube going to try and survive. And with the help of Hung, he's going to walk away. Vici, the second steal of the game. It's daylight robbery.
And Vici are doing amazing work. Ix able to get the steal. Was looking at iBoy to see if he could get another dragon steal for Vici, but it doesn't matter. Suning have no way of keeping the jungler for Vici out of the pit. They lose the dragon, but it's still an opportunity for Suning to get that at a later time. But Vici keeping themselves in this.
The Baron they take from under the noses of Suning. The dragon, though, they take right out of the hands of Suning. Just taking absolutely everything that they want in this game right now. And bear in mind, Forge, he's on this Azir. He's been pretty quiet so far this game, but he's getting towards that 3-item mark, and that is really where this pigeon will come online.
And where Vici as a whole will start to have a lot more impact in this game. The Azir is going to do a lot of work. This lethality Varus is getting to the point where he's very strong. Duskblade just completed as we talk about iBoy. So now the poke is very real, and Huanfeng and Angel need to be careful that they're not the recipients of that damage.
Hung going to be the sole defender of the mid lane here. And I'm not sure he can do much by himself. Boys here. Chains of Corruption immediately used. And SOFM knocked up. He's still tanking the tower. Will flash away with his life. But look at the damage iBoy is doing right now. SOFM's in trouble, but Sword Art blocks the call of the Forge God. Flash from iBoy, but still doesn't connect. Bullet time's pretty good. It's going to be 1 kill for nothing so far. Bin can't really commit to the fight. And Hung happy to step forward. Ix has gone way too deep with the Void Rush. Huanfeng trying to finish him off. Can't get the kill. Flashes forward, but there's a stopwatch as well. Huanfeng, has he gone too far forward? Hung now saves the jungler again, but the double up takes them both down.
And this is Sunni now getting back into this game. Same as in game number 1. One mistake from Vici and Sunni are collapsing.
The damage from iBoy is terrifying though. A couple more arrows and he will get some kills for himself. Bear in mind, there will be lifesteal available for Huanfeng. He's got that Bloodline passive available from his masteries here. They get themselves a tier 1.
Sunni will manage to finally, at 31 minutes into this game, crack the outer turrets. So let's take stock now of where we're sitting, because we have Angel, got the Triforce, the Infinity Edge, even that Mercurial Scimitar fully completed. There's the Rapid Fire Cannon for Huanfeng as well, so they can do quite a bit of damage in these fights. And we look towards Bin. He's been denied access to these backlines a lot by Forge. We saw it again in that fight, but still causing enough disruption that Angel and Huanfeng are able to deal with Ix, are able to deal with Cube, and that's all that Bin really needs to do right now.
On upgrades pretty much all the way across the team at this point for Vici. It's just the support upgrade left, but obviously that is the least important of them. No offense, Doctor. But
just hurts.
With the Luden's Echo being upgraded now, that is going to be Forge is going to be hitting all the harder. Bin, though, forced underneath this Azir tower. The Cyclone's going to do nothing. He's stopped by the soldiers, but Forge might go down himself. And this is a trade you're happy to take. SOFM falls. Now Sword Art trying to get onto the likes of Ix. As iBoy keeping himself safe. One of the biggest strengths of Azir, though, is this turret.
What did he die to?
I'm not 100% sure there.
Well, that's GA down. I was going to say Bin could still back away and then come into this fight once more with the teleport, but now, instead, looks like he's still teeting around this mid lane to get onto iBoy.
Trying to go forwards, but it was Cube waiting around the wall. Actually, Cube charges in, and it's a bit of a mistake from him. Hunk pulls him to safety. Bullet time underneath the tower. The minion wave is here to finish that one off. They don't get another kill, though. It's not a real tower.
Yeah, that was just a Sun Disk tower, so they don't really care about that on Vici's side. They've managed to hold off the kill on Forge. Does go over towards the likes of Sunni, but it's not meaning too much right now. It doesn't give Sunni any more control because they lost SOFM in the same engage.
TP available. Forge is going to come straight in towards the Baron Pit. Everyone gets here in an instant from Vici, and they can burn through this one. Bin trying to get ready for the Cyclone. He's going to get it onto all 4 members, but the Empress Divide will keep his team alive for now. iBoy saved and needs to get some miracle arrows right here. Bin manages to get another one. Sunni are winning out the fight as Angel grabs himself a double kill right there. Cube desperately trying to get away the searing charge, but it's just not hot enough. And Bin gets yet another kill. Cube will be finished off underneath his tower. The call of the Forge God. We needed that 10 minutes ago, mate. Huanfeng gets the last kill. 16-5. And Sunni are large and in charge.
And that was a great engage from Bin. Able to get onto the backline of Vici before Forge could toss out the Emperor's Divide. And now Sunni, with long death timers, could look to end.
They're trying to finish this one off. Still 20 seconds on Forge, 20 seconds on iBoy, and they're the only ones that can fight back at this point in the game. Sunni have done it. They've pushed us to a game 3, and they've kept themselves alive in this series. They'll find one more. Onto Hung. He's 0-7 on the Tom. The Kench has been well and truly benched in this one. Sunni, 1-1.
Sunni able to bite back, and what was looking like a very similar story